It's not even controversial anymore.
People know in Florida their freedoms are going to be respected.
Miranda, hello.
Hello.
Oh, I'm so excited. I get to see you soon. I think we've told viewers this. I'm taking a vacation with my family coming up at the end of August. My mom and my sister and I were going to Europe for the first time. So very excited about that. It's just going to be here before we know it. But we still have a few editions of Florida Report before that happens. So it looks like the second alligator Alcatraz is going to be moving forward. Are they calling it the same thing?
No, they're calling it the North Detention Facility, but
That's
I'm
lame.
sure once it opens up, they'll come up with another clever name for it to make it sound scary.
Where's it going to be?
So this is at a National Guard training facility called Fort Blanding, and it's just south of Jacksonville, southwest of Jacksonville.
Gotcha. Because we had said on the show before, DeSantis was asked if he was going to open a second one. He said only if there's need for it. So that tells me that Alligator Alcatraz is getting full.
Yeah, and I think what I had heard him say is not only is it filling up, but the deportations are going a little slower than planned too. So until the federal government kind of ramps up their processing and gets people sent back to where they're supposed to be, they're going to fill up a lot quicker than anticipated. So they've already written out at least one contract to move forward with this new facility.
Gotcha. Okay. And it sounds like also because of where it is and what it is, it might not have some of the same, I don't know. I mean, people are going to hate it regardless. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the Everglades around alligators or not. But there's a couple lawsuits that have been filed against Alligator Alcatraz specific to it being in the Everglades.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason that the original airport project got canceled was for environmental reasons. They did the studies, they did the research, and they realized this is not a place for people to build anything. It's detrimental to the health of the entire state. And I think they did move into this process very quickly, and I don't think the environmental implications were at the top of their mind when they decided to take over and start adding, temporary facilities. If you see some of the newer aerial images of Alligator Alcatraz, it does look like they add a little asphalt or concrete to create some pretty rough looking side roads and stuff. So I think that they did do a little extra construction on top of what was already there. And that has a lot of environmental groups and the Miccosukee tribe of Indians a little bit peeved off over the whole thing. So they filed a lawsuit to try to at least halt any newer construction until it's made clear whether or not they're violating any environmental protection laws.
Yeah, so it's the Indian tribe, and then it's like this environmental group called like the Friends of the Everglades, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, the Friends of the Everglades. And they're basically just saying that they ignored an environmental policy act that's already in place. It didn't even allow the public to have, opinions about the matter and to make sure they're not violating anything because they moved so quickly. So on the other hand, Miami officials, because this lawsuit was filed in Miami officials are asking the judge to move, either dismiss the case or move the case to Collier County, which is where the facility is actually located at. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a little bit of a circus trying to figure out where that's going to go before any decisions are made.
Do you know off the top of your head, is Collier County more conservative? I'm not familiar with where that is.
It's the west coast of the state, and I
Okay.
do believe it is less conservative.
Less conservative.
That is a big retirement community on the west side of the state. You have Fort Myers, Naples, et cetera. So that's a lot of transplants, a lot of people coming from northern states, and they usually bring a little more of a blue attitude.
I wonder why
into
they'd want to move it there then, because Miami has been going more and more red. I don't know if it's like the best venue for the state to fight something like that, but
Well, I think it's because the people in Miami agree with Alligator Alcatraz and they don't want to stop anything. So they also just don't want to deal with it. But even though Miami-Dade County owns the facility, it is located in their county. So it's technically, I think, where it's supposed to, the jurisdiction would be over there.
Gotcha. Okay. So speaking of the Everglades, we always do some, it's been a while actually since we've done some crazy Florida animal stories. So the Burmese python in Florida is invasive, right? Like those shouldn't be in the Everglades or anywhere in Florida. So they're always coming up with ways to try to hunt them down and kill them. And they make like a sport out of it or whatever. This is a very unique way to do it.
Yeah, so they have already deployed robotic rabbits into the Everglades. Basically, these rabbits are really cute stuffed animal rabbits that have had the stuffing removed, and a little drone robot rabbit has been placed in there that it not only emits heat, like the same body temperature as a rabbit, it also emits the same scent that would attract these pythons. And they're, remote controlled. So there's people controlling where these rabbits go, and they have cameras. So when they pick up the recording of a python stalking it, hunting it, or eating it, it'll allow snake wranglers to go out there and get them.
I mean, the snake is going to eat the robot. They know that, right?
They know that because in the past, they've actually tagged other prey animals like raccoons, opossums, and rabbits, and then just tracked them down after they were eaten. So
Right.
now I think, rather than offering up some of these now almost extinct animals because the pythons are eating all the raccoons, all the opossums, all the rabbits, they're deploying these robotic rabbits in lieu of sacrificing the small percentage of those animals that are left over.
Well, hopefully you can just slice that thing's belly open and take the robot out and it's still good.
I would hope so. I mean, it's kind of funny because I think they've released 40 of them so far. And they were putting out numbers of even people, if you put a person on the ground to go look for pythons, they might find one in every 8 hours. But when they do techniques like this, they're capturing a lot more frequently.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of robot rabbits patrolling the Everglades looking for invasive pythons.
Well, we all know you're a rabbit lover and have a rabbit in your home. And so I'm sure that it makes you happy that they're not sending out real rabbits because they used to put them in, they used to lure them, they put rabbits in cages
Yeah.
and then would go like basically the snakes were going to be around the cages essentially, but someone would have to go out constantly and feed the rabbits, obviously, because you've locked them in a cage in the Everglades.
Yeah.
So now they don't
Yeah.
have that like manpower dedicated to having to go take care of rabbits that they put in cages. Can you imagine how scared those rabbits were too?
I know, because they didn't know that they're not going to get eaten. They're just like basically face to face with the beast for, they said a
cool.
python would linger for up to an hour around these cages. So it would give them time to get out there and collect them. But I was so bummed out. I was glad that they were in cages and being cared for, but still, the poor thing's heart was
Oh.
probably,
That's horrible. It's awful. All right, Miranda, good stuff. We appreciate it.
yeah, have a good weekend.
It's not even controversial anymore.
People know in Florida their freedoms are going to be respected.